don't need y'all getting a little testy with me because I know that these three topics are a little dated. But y'all have been wanting me to talk about Dr. Jackie real bad. And I had put it in my notes. I had just got caught up in life or whatever the case may be. I'm still on family vacation in Orlando in this Mickey Mouse room with my old laptop with no lighter. But I said, you know, I'm laying in the bed, just having me a little piece of cocktail. And I figured I'd pick up the phone and I'd talk to y'all. There's three people I want to talk to y'all about. I want to talk about what went down with Dr. Jackie. I want to talk about Rashida and her apology to K. Michelle. And I also want to get in on this Trina talking about Beyonce is the best female rapper out there. Want to talk about it? Here you go. Now, that's a girl, y'all was begging me to talk about Dr. Jackie. Oh, fucking I didn't even talk about Dr. Jackie. Talk about Dr. Jackie. Talk about Dr. Jackie. And here's the only thing I got to say about Dr. Jackie. I told you so. Didn't I say on my last Married to Medicine commentary that Jackie, because she literally sits on that show and gives nothing, and to Dr. Jackie's credit, she's not required to give anything because she's classy based. She's the doctor. She anchors the show. That's enough. All Jackie has to do is show up and be pretty. So I'm not saying gives nothing as a read to Jackie because she's not required to give anything. And favor just simply isn't fair. She don't have to do what the Toyas and the Quads and the Heavenlies have to do. And that's just the way her whole situation is set up. So it's not a dig at Dr. Jackie. But because this is a reality TV show and life-wise, we don't ever get much from Jackie, every couple of years, Jackie hit us with an earthquake. Jackie skated her ass through the whole Married to Medicine, and then, bam, she was hit harder than anybody on that show was hit with anything, finding out that Curtis cheated on her, there was video, so on and so forth. And that one hit made up for all the years that Jackie skated through up until that point. She got through the Curtis situation, went right back on to skating. Now, God, Lord knows, I didn't think that the situation would have came this quickly. And then, boom, she gets hit with the Black Women Crying Wolf scandal doing Dr. Heavenly's live situation. See, we always thought that Dr. Heavenly lives would get her ass caught up. And lo and behold, it messed around and got Dr. Jackie caught up. Here is the thing, right? In all fairness, we have to extend Dr. Jackie some grace. All right. I am of the thought that Dr. Jackie's words were taken out of context. And I judge people based on their works. Dr. Jackie's overall client base is Black women. The advocacy work that she has done has always been for women of color. And simply put, on some favor ain't fair shit, when you carry yourself the way that Dr. Jackie carries herself, it really makes it hard to convince people that you got a bad bone in your body. And that is the beautiful thing about reputation. When you have a clean, solid, reputable reputation, when you do fumble and mess up, people are willing to overlook it because they're not used to those types of flubs from you. And lo and behold, Dr. Jackie literally could be Satan's wife for all we know, but nobody would believe it based on her reputation. I think the shitstorm that Dr. Jackie just caught was just a perfect storm. I don't think there is any reasonable human being out there alive that thinks that Black women are full of shit when it comes to their medical needs, and that Dr. Jackie is out there in the medical field believing white women and not taking Black women serious. All right. I think that Dr. Jackie's conversation with Dr. Heavenly on that live was one of those conversations where when your aunties get in the kitchen and close the kitchen door and they just in there talking, having kitchen table talk. I feel like Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly got comfortable in that environment and they were having kitchen table talk. And what Dr. Jackie was trying to express, from what I ascertained, was that there is a group of y'all out there that just don't want to take y'all asses to work or whatever the case may be, and y'all come in there faking and flashing. And it's not just black women, it's everybody. But she was speaking to her people, her audience. And she was saying, and because we have these issues already with people but not believing us in the medical field, y'all are making it worse, especially when nothing is wrong with you and you just don't want to go to work. That's what I got from it. I took from it that I'm in this moment, even with me saying this, I am being an advocate for black women and the higher mortality rate when it comes to child labor. And some of y'all sisters are not making it better by coming in here over exaggerating your symptoms, trying to get doctor's notes because you simply don't want to go to work. That's what I took from it, and that's the only thing I'm willing to believe. Because like I said, Dr. Jackie's reputation and her work speaks for itself. It says otherwise. Now here's the thing. From a universe perspective, Dr. Jackie, what she just endured is just the cost. All right? It's just the cost. Your number was up, Dr. Jackie. Her number was up. Everybody else sit on that show and get embarrassed to the gods. Everybody else sit on that show and their personal life get exploited to the gods. Dr. Jackie gets to go 3 and 4 years not giving anything. This is what it looks like when you pay on the back end. I always say, you're going to pay on the front end or the back end, but you're going to pay. And Dr. Jackie, she pays on the back end. This is what Dr. Jackie got for sitting on the show for 3 and 4 years and giving nothing. That's what I think about Dr. Jackie. Now, it was something else I wanted to address when it happened, but I was busy. It was the K. Michelle and Rashida situation. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Rashida handled that wrong, and Rashida is full of shit. Rashida is full of shit. Rashida meant everything she said when she was walking out that store, and she was like, I ain't giving her no apology, whatever the case may be. She meant it. She thought that shit was cute. She thought she was filming an episode of Love and Hip Hop. The internet started eating her ass alive, and she folded. She buckled. And the funny thing about it is, I would have thought that Rashida would have been seasoned enough in her celebrity and her tenure on this show to just have let it ride. There's always somebody else from your cast or somebody else in the internet space that's going to come behind you in the next 3 to 5 days and do some shit more dumb than you did that's going to push your shit out the media. They started eating your ass alive on that internet, and then you wanted to come to the table and play in our face and give some half-ass explanation. Kirk had to jump in and help you. Rashida was still being passive-aggressive as fuck, talking about, I already apologized to that young lady, or whatever case may be. Her name is K. Michelle, bitch. And you 40-something years old. You bitch, say her name. All right? And here's the thing, Rashida. Everyone gets it. We all get it. Toya was your girl during that time. She was married to Memphitz. These are people who you go around their house. I think in the beginning of Love and Hip Hop, when it first started season 1, nobody, it was new. Everybody was new to this. Everybody was a novice. I think in the beginning, woman to woman, Rashida was listening to K. Michelle and she heard her out. I wouldn't be surprised if shortly thereafter filming, she went and was talking to Toya and Memphitz, and they put their 2 cents in, and Memphitz said this shit never happened, and Toya probably was on some fuck that bitch type shit. So then the next time Rashida got together with K. Michelle, her energy had changed. Because, yeah, it is flaw as fuck that you went and supported the damn girl at the domestic violence thing. Then at the next dinner, you're going to sit up in the girl's face and say the shit didn't happen, when in all actuality, you probably should have just stayed the fuck out of it altogether. But I understand what it looks like when you are very close friends with Toya. So we get it. I just think you would have got more cool points in the keep it real department had you would have kept it real. Had you would have been like, you know what, I look back over all these years and I probably should have stayed out of it, but I was riding for my friend. And who wouldn't ride for their friend? That was all you had to say. That would have cleaned the whole thing up because everybody gets it. But the sad part about it is, I think it goes without saying that after Memphitz and Toya broke up, they did marriage boot camp, subsequent interviews, other things that have hit the blogs, we can all confidently say that, yeah, Memphis probably more than likely did have some domestic violence issues with K. Michelle. And now that Memphis is no longer married to Toya, what the hell you still holding on to, Rashida? It cost you nothing to say sorry. It cost you nothing to say maybe I got it wrong. Or it cost you nothing to have just ignored the question on social media altogether. You lit this on fire under your ass. You created your own shitstorm because you didn't have to answer it on live, and you thought you was doing something cute, and the shit came back to bite you in the ass. And it also made you look all of 13 years old at a summer camp at YMCA because you wasn't even woman enough to put your big girl panties on and to give a proper apology. You wasn't even confident enough to address the public without Kirk being in the background and having to help you. And as far as you giving this young lady an apology when you saw her, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I don't believe you because if you found it in your heart to be woman enough to give that girl an apology, then it would seem to me that all would be resolved and you'd be able to speak her name. You couldn't even speak her name on the live, still throwing shade, passive aggressively. And there was nothing wrong with you saying what you guys didn't see was I already spoke to this young lady. I already gave her an apology. And if that was the case, Rashida, it would have cost you nothing to be like, what y'all didn't see is that I already spoke with K. Michelle and gave her an apology again, but I'll give her another one right here. I am definitely sorry. I look back over the years and realize how my actions could have been perceived, but you got to understand that I was in a rock and a hard place because those allegations affected the family and the well-being of somebody who I was really good friends with. I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Any reasonable human being would understand that. And that was not too much to give in a situation. But you were being so ornery that the shit came back to bite you in the ass. Last thing I want to talk about while I got you on this 1997 prepaid Metro PCS flip phone. Y'all ate Trina alive when it came to those comments about her saying that Beyonce was the greatest female rapper, and then she had to come back and say when she rapped. This is another one of those situations where I'm gonna have to call bullshit on Trina. And Trina, that's my Miami girl. We got a lot of mutual friends and family in common. I love Trina, but I just have to call bullshit when I see it. All right, Trina, there is no secret that your team felt a way about when your album came out and you had that song with Nicki and Nicki didn't help promote or retweet or whatever the case may be. So much so that I did an interview on my channel with Reggie. It is also reasonable to believe that because your team, and you run a tight ship for the most part, Trina, because your team was so comfortable being as loud and vocal as they were, that they were echoing your feelings and your sentiments. That's not unreasonable for any rational person to believe. Now, I can understand, I'm not even going to be politically correct and dance around this. It feels as if you were going out of your way to not say Nicki Minaj. That's just how it feels. And I may be wrong. But as somebody who don't even really listen to new rap, don't really care for it, actually like Trina, Foxy Brown, Little Kim, Eve, that's more my speed, more my demo, more my generation. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't even listen to rap music like that. But I think it's fair to say that the current reigning queen of rap is Nicki Minaj. Um, Now, she may be on her way out. She may have peaked already. But I think it's fair to say she is the current queen of rap. And although Trina doesn't have a history of being petty and messy, based on the previous history with your team and assumably you being upset with Nicki Minaj, it's giving you went out of your way to not say Nicki, but you tried to still be cool with everybody, so you said Beyonce. Listen, Beyonce is the queen of a lot of things. And a lot of things that she touched turns to gold, diamond, glitter, and everything else in between here and Jupiter. But the queen of rap is one thing that she's not. Undisputably, indisputably, whichever one. All sputablies. There is not a single human being alive walking around calling Beyonce the queen of rap. And then instead of you just shutting the hell up, you can't be loud, wrong, ignorant, and ghetto and then double down on it. It just make you look crazy or whatever. And I just cannot stand when people play in our face and try to make it seem like we're the idiots for having the reactions that we had. Saying Beyonce was the queen of rap. And one thing, black people, y'all love resting on this. That's my opinion. And I said what I said. Like that shit's the end all be all. I said, oh, the earth just shook because you said what you said. You actually get more cool points when you can be introspective and self-aware and lean into the emotions and the psyche and the psychological state you was in that made you say what it is you said. You actually get further with people being that way, not doubling down on dumb. Now, Trina is her own human being. She can say whoever the hell she want, whatever the hell she want. But Trina, you gotta understand, like, just like you could say what you want to say and be who you want to be, we got the right to have the opinion that we have. Like when Nene said, I said what I said, and Candy said, and what you said was some bullshit. Trina, what you said was some bullshit. All right, you know it. Bobby Lights know it. Everybody around you know it was some damn bullshit. And just like Rashida, your ass caught that internet smoke, and it got to set a fire up under your feet, and you felt the need to defend it. Nah, sis, you don't get to play in our face. You can't defend the indefensible. But don't nobody probably care, because these like 2 weeks ago stories. But I was just laying in bed. I was going through my list as I'm getting ready to, get back to my real life tomorrow afternoon. And I was like, let me clear some of these agenda items off my list. So there it is. I'm done. Bye.